Why should a cluster of moss-covered stones alongside a woodland stream appeal so much to the eye? Is it their random placing, as if untouched by human hand, giving them a timeless tranquility? Or is it their setting, dappled with sunlight in what a poet might call a mossy glade? Scenes like these would have been inspiration to many a romantic poet of the 17th and 18th century. One such poet was John Dyer. Born in Llanfynydd, Carmarthenshire in 1699 into a well-to-do family, they eventually took up residence in Aberglasney House. Dyer was also an accomplished painter, though few of his works have survived. His most famous poem is a description of Grongar Hill, not far from his home. Grongar, in whose mossy cells sweetly musing quiet dwells, Grongar, in whose silent shade for the modest muses made, so oft I have the evening still at the fountain of a rill sat upon a flowery bed with my hand beneath my head, while strayed my eyes over Towey's flood. No river Towey's flood to be seen here, just the gentle Llwydro stream flowing down from Pentyrch before losing itself in the River Taff. But be it ever so humble, I like to think that it was a similar stream in the Usk Valley a century earlier that inspired another Welsh poet, Henry Vaughan, to write, "Dear stream, dear bank, where often I have sat and pleased my pensive eye, why, since each drop of thy quick store runs thither whence it flowed before, should poor souls fear a shade or night, who came sure from a sea of light? Or since those drops are all sent back so sure to thee that none doth lack, why should frail flesh doubt any more that what God takes, he'll not restore?" Both poets clearly inspired by their home patch, although John Dyer also looked further afield. Like many privileged young men of his time, an essential part of their education was the grand tour, taking in the classical sights of Italy and Greece. But why should there be such an interest in ruins? Maybe because their very incompleteness allowed the imagination to roam freely, to envisage what had once been, and meditate on the passage of time and the victory of water and grass over marble and stone. The faded glory that was Rome and other civilizations exemplified the impermanence of not just buildings, but also of our own society and culture. But if we want to take our own grand tour, a mini tour perhaps, there's no need to travel far from home, for deep in the woods at the foot of the Garth mountain are treasures just waiting to be found. These woods are crisscrossed with paths for us to enjoy the quiet green space, especially in these times. But it wasn't always so, for these ruins attest to the homes of the many families who worked in mines that were dug into the hillside. Old maps can show us the names of these cottages, now long forgotten. Time has stripped them of their privacy. The hearth now stands cold and empty. What tales were told around a blazing fire here? What joy and sadness are recorded in these stones? Our small patch is just a microcosm. These small things hold the keys to the greater truths. We just have to look.